Where do you find purpose applying design thinking to affect social change?
I think the purpose is actually in comparison to what you could apply design or design thinking to otherwise. Comparatively, it's for making objects, it's for making consumer websites, it's for making buildings, it's for making stuff. And that stuff has become prized and held up as the end-all be-all. You don't need to look further than the line outside of the new Apple store to understand how much our culture celebrates stuff. And to your original question, I don't find a lot of value anymore in that. It's by comparison to that I start to see the power of taking that design thinking, whatever you'd like to call it, and applying it to large-scale social problems. It's humbling, and it's, I think, incredibly challenging. I'm actually not even convinced we can solve those problems using design in the same way that we can solve a consumer need by handing them a slate computer. But fundamentally, those problems are more important and are better uses of our time than are the let's make another chair, another couch, another iPad. And so it's only when you actually sort of say, as compared to what, that I think the idea of humanitarian-focused design starts to make a great deal of sense. Increasingly, my peers and my students and alumni are asking that. They're saying, look, I have this beautiful job on paper. I'm doing fantastic work. I'm working at these Fortune 500, the high-pressure consultancies, and it's meaningless. I'm just making shit. And I'm making it for somebody to make a lot of money, and then it ends up in a landfill. The digital equivalent is no better. I'm making digital shit. It doesn't end up in a landfill, but you get the point. But they're scratching their head, going, "Is this really it? I'm going to bust my ass for 30 years so that I can do this, have a house and a car and a garage and a bunch of kids? No, thank you." And so I think when you start to ask that as compared to what question, you start to go, well, look, sure, we could try to save the world, and that's nice. And we should. And by the way, I'm going to feel a whole lot better about myself and much more purposeful in my career as a result.